Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your news edition. These are the headlines. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, receives the rector of the Great Mosque of Paris, Shamsuddin Hafiz. The President of the Republic, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, Abdelmajid Tebboune, expresses his sincere condolences following the death of the General Mohammed bin Dida, Inspector of the External Relations and Cooperation Department of the Ministry of National Defense. The President of the Republic awards the Mujahid, writer and scholar Sheikh Mohammed Saleh Siddiq the Medal of the National Order of Merit at the rank of Ahid as a recognition of his scientific and religious journey. Tasked by the President of the Republic, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, the Army General Saeed Chengriha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense, Chief of Staff of the PNA, extends his condolences at the Embassy of Libya following the death of the Chief of General Staff of the Libyan Army. The new railway Bashar Garaj Bilet Tindouf, a strategic asset that will bring a new dynamic to the region. Welcome back. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, received the rector of the Great Mosque of Paris, Shamsuddin Hafiz. The audience was held in the presence of the advisor of the President of the Republic in charge of the General Directorate of Communication, Canal Said. The President of the Republic, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, Abdelmajid Tebboune, expressed his sincere condolences following the death of General Mohammed bin Dida, Inspector of the External Relations and Cooperation Department of the Ministry of National Defense. It is with deep sadness that the President of the Republic learned the death of the General bin Dida. In this painful circumstance, the head of state expressed his condolences to the family of the deceased and to all the members of the People's National Army, praying Allah to bestow His mercy upon his soul and grant patience to his beloved ones. To Allah we belong, and to Him we shall return. Army General Saeed Chengriha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense, Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, also expressed his condolences to the family of General Mohammed bin Dida, Inspector of the External Relations and Cooperation Department of the Ministry of National Defense, who passed away on Wednesday after a long illness. In this painful circumstance, the Army General Saeed Chengriha expressed on his behalf and on behalf of the staff of the PNA his condolences to the family of the deceased, praying Allah Almighty to grant him mercy and welcome him in his vast paradise among martyrs and righteous friends, and grant his family patience. To Allah we belong, and to Him we shall return. At the headquarters of the Libyan embassy in Algiers, and on behalf of Algeria, its government and people, and upon instructions of the President of the Republic, Army General Saeed Chengriha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense, PNA Chief of Staff, paid a condolence visit and signed the Book of Condolences following the death of the Chief of the General Staff of the Libyan Army, Melissa Kabesh, with more details.
On behalf of Algeria, its government and its people, and upon instructions from President of the Republic Abdelmajid Tebboune, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, Army General Saeed Chengriha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense, Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, paid a condolence visit on Thursday evening and signed the Book of Condolences opened at the Libyan Embassy following the death of Army General Muhammad Ali Ahmed al-Haddad, Chief of the General Staff of the Libyan Army, and the accompanying delegation after the aircraft carrying them crashed while returning to their homeland. On this solemn occasion, Army General expressed his sincere condolences and deepest feelings of sympathy and compassion to the families of the victims and to the brotherly Libyan people.
باسم السيد رئيس الجمهورية قائد الأعلى للقوات المسلحة وزير الدفاع الوطني وباسم الجزائر نقدم لكم تعازينا الخالصة بهذا المصاب الجلل الذي أصاب الشعب الليبي. اليوم واجب علينا باش نقف مساندة معكم ومع الشعب الليبي الشقيق والقوات المسلحة الليبية.
The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, awarded the Mujahid, writer and scholar Sheikh Mohammed Saleh Siddiq the Medal of the National Order of Merit at the rank of Ahid as a recognition of his scientific and religious journey, as well as his eminent contribution to the dissemination of the values of moderation, middle ground and tolerance. On this occasion, the Minister of Culture and Arts, Malika Bendouda, delivered a speech on behalf of the President of the Republic. The ceremony was held with the presence of the advisor of the President of the Republic in charge of higher education and vocational training, several members of the government, alongside the General Secretary of the Ministry of National Defense. Let's listen to the Minister of Culture and Arts, Malika Bendouda.
In your esteemed person, you have embodied the model of the creative author and writer, deeply devoted to the nation and its glories, proud of belonging to Algeria and to its loyal people, and faithful to safeguarding the legacy entrusted to you by your fellow martyrs and the sincere mujahideen. It is therefore no surprise that today you are being honored and recognized, for you are truly deserving of such distinction through the power of the pen and intellectual achievements. Congratulations on this well-earned honor as you continue your dedication in the sanctuary of writing and research. In confirmation of your words, when a person chooses to truly live, he will not die.
التأليف والبحث تأكيدا لحكمة مقولتكم: إذا عزم الإنسان على أن يحيا فلن يموت.
And now we'll listen to the honored writer.
كل هذا سيضيف إلى عمري.
All of this will make me draw closer to God Almighty with humility until the end of my life, and perhaps write one book or even two through which I will recall this warmth that I have spoken of, a warmth that neither the tongue can fully express nor the mind can truly capture.
وأزيد كتابا أو كتابين أذكر هذه الحفاوة التي قلت بها والتي لا يستطيع اللسان أن يصورها ولا الفكر أن يصوغها.
The State Minister for Foreign Affairs, National Community Abroad and African Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, received the Japanese Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yohei Onishi, who is on an official visit to Algeria. In the presence of the General Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Lounes Magraman, the meeting was an occasion to highlight the necessity of improving the economic cooperation between the two countries to the level of privileged political relations, notably by increasing the volume of bilateral commercial exchanges, and encourage the Japanese economic operators to expand their direct investments in Algeria. The General Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Lounes Magraman, held a meeting with the Japanese Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yohei Onishi. It was an occasion to review the historical bilateral relations and the convergence of views in several regional and international issues of mutual interest. Magraman congratulated the Japanese deputy for the successful organization of the event Expo 2025 in Osaka, in which Algeria participated and won the silver medal for the best pavilion. In Algeria's southwest, a historic railway is taking shape. The Bachar-Tindouf Garage Billet line will unlock the Garage Billet iron deposit and transform the region's economy. Basmafar with more details.
For decades, the national route remains the sole route linking Bachar to Tindouf, stretching across vast desert distances. Today, this isolated corridor in Algeria's southwest is at the heart of a strategic national project. In less than 2 years, the area has been transformed into a large-scale railway construction site. At the center of this effort, a 950 kilometers mining railway designed to connect Bishar to Garaj Bilat iron ore deposit.
Despite the scale of the project, we had to face major geographical, technical and climatic constraints. However, more than 74 million cubic meters of debris were successfully cleared.
By strong political will and the mobilization of significant human and logistical resources, work is advancing at an accelerated pace. This strategic railway will open new non-hydrocarbon economic prospects for Algeria, with the exploitation of one of the world's largest iron ore deposits.
This is a historic turning point for Tindouf. The opening of this railway line will profoundly transform the socio-economic life of the region. We faced major transport problems because of the long distance. Thank God this issue will be resolved with the opening of the railway. It will also help address many trade difficulties and may even allow us to extend travel as far as Zwirat.
The commissioning of the line is set to turn the southwest of the country into a new development hub, a region capable of attracting capital, skilled labor, and investment opportunities. With Garaj Bilat holding more than 3 billion tons of iron ore and future connections extending from Bishar to Tbissa via Tala, Hamza, and Bijaya, Algeria is strengthening its mining and logistical potential and opening new economic horizons.
In Morocco, rural and mountain communities are trapped by snow and isolation, facing blocked roads, cut off supplies and growing struggle while authorities fail to respond. Basma Far.
Conditions in rural regions and remote highlands continue to worsen as residents endure growing isolation. With roads being blocked, the lack of supplies and both water and electricity shortage. Caught between the harshness of nature on one side and the absence of public authorities on the other, these communities now face an uncertain fate.
People living in the mountains are facing extreme hardship. Are they not human beings? Are they not Moroccan citizens like everyone else? While some live in warm, finished homes, others in rural and mountain areas are left to face the cold alone. Authorities must act and take responsibility because these communities cannot be left to live or die in isolation.
These disturbing images speak for themselves, revealing a daily and a very real tragedy. Rural residents are struggling to evacuate their patients as blocked roads continue to make access to hospitals nearly impossible.
The roads were covered in snow. We carried him on a mule, but he passed away before reaching help. There were no roads, no hospitals, nothing to save him.
Students are not spared from hardship, forced to walk long distances to reach school, while more than 900 rural schools have been closed in recent days due to the absence of transportation, school meals, heating, and basic learning conditions.
And we wrap up our edition with an amazing news as Oran or Wahran won the African Asian Union Golden Award for the best emerging touristic city for the year 2025. Among more than 20 cities, Al Bahia amazed everyone with its infrastructures and its historical heritage, which reflects its cultural diversity. And with these amazing images, we come to the end of our edition. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us. Have a good night.